Did I leave the stove on?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Opie-verse Episode 27. Who'd have thought it? How are you? How is everybody? Let's have a look. Let's have a look and see who we've got. Of course, we have James. Hey, James, how's it going? Debricked, good to see you here too. Brick Pursued, Corin. We have Yeet Forever. How is it going, everybody? Howdy doody. Howdy doody indeed. Hope you're all having a good weekend. Hope you've all had a nice weekend. If anybody's done anything particularly nice or particularly interesting, feel free to share it in the comments and we'll take a look at that. But yeah, from me, a pretty boring Lego weekend. Haven't really done anything. I don't know if since the last time we were on, I've moved I'm sure I've done this since the last time we were on, but I've moved the Sandcrawler and the Cantina here. They are like my two favorite sets. So why they were off screen, I'm not really sure why I'd ever did that. But yeah, they're on screen now. But other than that, there's nothing really going on. Been in the garden. It's been nice weather. You know, what more to see about that? I know it was episode 27 already. Thank you. I appreciate the love. But yeah, let's I wasn't mocking your Texas slang whatsoever. I was honoring it. I was paying homage to it. It is a good phrase. Flex indeed, Stevie. Flex indeed. But yeah, so let's get cracking. Our guide tonight, look, let's be honest. He was one of the original booked guests of the Opie-verse. I actually booked him back in August when this thing was like just in its ascendancy. And the reason he hasn't come on is because yesterday was his 18th birthday. And I stipulate that all guests need to be 18-year-old for the Opie-verse, just because, you know, the topic of conversation is a little bit more mature, and you know, we enjoy a tipple here as well. So, you know, we treat ourselves. So with that, I appreciate his patience. I appreciate him coming on the day after his 18th birthday. No idea how he's managed this, but if you don't know him, I will introduce him as mackbricks, a Lego TikTok creator, and also a Lego. So he's a Brick Owl seller as well, which we'll talk a little bit about. So Brick Owl being a competitor to Bricklink. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But he's all round Lego, all round Star Wars, Marvel, Batman fan, but even more so an all round great guy. So without further delay, I give you mackbricks. Good evening,
hello,
sir.
Hello.
Are the sunglasses to emphasize that you're a little bit rough this evening?
Yes. No. They're special glasses. They let me see technology.
No. All right. Okay. Before we get into anything, how was yesterday? First of all, foremost, happy 18th birthday.
Thank you.
As a you know, it means that you've now had your first legal drink yesterday. As a Scotsman, it probably means that comes 7 years after your first ever drink. And that's, but no, all seriousness, how was yesterday? Did you have a good one?
Yeah, no, it was brilliant. Just time with the family. Just a family day. Oh, hi, Spawn. Time with the family, which then was eventful towards the evening, and had a rough one this morning. Feeling a bit better now, but yeah.
Sound. But you've got your lads one next weekend, right?
Yes. I've got my yep.
The lads.
The
What
lads.
are you planning? Just pub crawl, night out sesh?
No, well, the problem is, of course, all my friends, one of them's only 18. So the rest are
Right.
underage, so we can't do that as of yet. But next week they'll be coming round to mine. A few beverages, a few, and yeah, part 2.
Very nice. See, this is the thing, right? In homage to your Scottishness and even just your Britishness, like you might be rough, but you're still on the Corona because that's what we do. So I've gone for a Star of Pram tonight. I haven't had one in a while, so I've gone for a Star of Pram. Very nice beer indeed. But Nami, it's a pleasure to have you on. I know you came on the like the Christmas special we did, which wasn't really the Opie-verse, so kind of that one didn't potentially count. But nice to speak. We again, like so many others, you and I mainly speak through like messages or comment sections and all of that. So yeah, it's nice to actually get to speak to you properly. One question I do have about the birthday stuff and even like connection to Lego TikTok is, did Ellie message you? Did she make an effort for you or what?
I got diddly squat.
Rah, Ellie. Bricks and
Diddly
Bimbos,
squat.
you should be ashamed of yourself. I am gutted by that. That is Ellie.
Ruined it.
There you go. If you're watching, like, if all of you that are watching, whether you're watching live or later, first of all, hit the thumbs up button and let people know that this is worth a watch. But then secondly, the next time you see Bricks and Bimbos on your For You page, just leave her a little comment and say shame. Just be like shame. Just shame. If enough of us do it, it doesn't have to be a lot of people, but if she sees a lot of enough random people doing it, she'll think like, fuck's going on here? Like something's up here. Something's
out of context. Aye.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll just start spamming our shame on that one, but not overly spamming her. Just like one message on there. But yeah,
spammer if you want. Don't care.
Well, no, because that'll help our algorithm and all that. And I don't encourage her. So just but yeah, the interesting thing is because you're at that like weird age, right? Whereby you've got Lego. And like you're starting to drink, so like your focus will, like you're starting to go out, your social life will dramatically change, especially as your friends start catching you up and all of that. But right now it's that kind of turning point. So did you ask for Lego for your birthday? Did you get Lego for your birthday?
I did indeed. I got the Infinity Gauntlet from my mum and dad. They have the login details. 18 plus.
So obviously they've waited. Yeah.
They've got the login details for the Wishlist, and whenever an event comes round, I say to them, listen, one of the things from there, if you don't mind.
You still get the email though, right? To see like
what that an order's through.
Yeah.
And one of my pals from school. He's one of the lads. I don't know. Summertime I do, because I think you have to put it in, don't you, with the order?
You do.
Yeah.
But if you're not this is a test of someone's character, and I'm creating this test right now, and I'm going to feel it immediately, because if you although you can change the email address, you can also log into your account and go to your orders, and they're all there. So if you want to know, you can just go and check your orders.
Yeah, no, I've held myself back for Christmas and for this as well.
Okay.
But
you're a better person than I am, Mac. That's for sure. That's for sure. But no, that's cool though. So Infinity Gauntlet, and then I saw you building the Vera's castle yesterday. Have you made any more progress on it? How are you finding it?
Man. I finished bag 6 yesterday. I think, to be fair to it, it's come at a time where I've not got as much free time to actually build. Just sit and build. I think it's a quality set, and I probably would have built it all the way through, maybe even in one sitting, but don't have the time. But I'll get there.
Yeah.
I'll get there.
Time and space are always the sticky work there. So, so if I'm right in thinking on your situation, you're in like sixth form school. You're in your last year. You're in your A levels year essentially from
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
What are you generally studying? Because obviously you'll have had some option over it.
Well, I mean, I kept maths and English all the way through, and I've taken modern studies and business, just as a couple of other generic. That would be A levels.
Modern did you say modern studies?
Yeah.
What's modern studies?
It's like kind of politics.
Okay,
so
it's like sociology.
I mean, if you guys call it that, yeah. I mean,
was that an old?
I don't know. No, well, no. I mean, it's just it's like politics, and it's all like about like underdevelopment and stuff like that in the world and all that stuff. So yeah, no, it's fairly interesting, and it's good for law, which is what I want to go into.
Oh, okay. So you're going to law.
Yeah.
So you must be starting to apply for unis and all of that.
Yeah.
Now.
No. No, I've had a couple back offers from Dundee and Aberdeen, which
congratulations.
Thank you. Which are a wee bit far away though, so I'm hoping that other unis come back at some point.
Aberdeen is far.
Yes. And they speak a bit different to me as well, so might need a translator. But it would be a big change. But I'm just trying to get through the year first. I've still got exams to look at or to look forward to soon. So yeah.
Good stuff. Now, Zach, I'm back. I keep knocking my microphone and disconnecting my microphone, but I'm back. That's good. So, did you see you had a desirable place, like somewhere you'd really like to go?
Well, Glasgow would be ideal. One of the Glasgow ones would be ideal. So I definitely try my best to get into one of the Glasgow ones, and I definitely accept it just because that would allow me to stay home if I needed to.
Well, that was my next question. Is even if you did get into Glasgow, would you stay home?
Yeah, first year I would. I think. I think that would be my idea, just because of how things are still going. Still question marks whether everything's going to be in the uni still. Lots of tutors, I think, have actually not minded doing everything online or doing lots of things online. So some
do fuck all anyway. So
I know.
Law is serious business though. So do you know why you'd like to take it? Yes, of course.
Yes. See. I mean, when we were in school last year, we had, and this year actually, of course, we had a thing in place which was called mock courts, and we did civil. We took on a manufactured civil case in school, and it's like a debating sort of thing against other schools in Scotland. And so I did that for a couple of years, and it just really got me into it. You know, I don't know, I just like arguing, I suppose.
Makes sense why you're friends with Ellie then, if that's the case.
Well, exactly. Come on, talk to me.
No, it's I think it's one of those. It's really interesting, and it'll be forever developing. So can totally understand like the want and love for that. So yeah. Are you at a point where you are starting to be drawn to a particular side of the law, or are you very much open right now?
Probably early doors. I don't know if I have the heart for criminal law. That's the only thing. So that's probably what I'm saying. You saw me in town last week. All right, okay. Oh,
is there a story there?
He must go to Prestwick then. Where were you from?
We're getting reveals. So being a content creator, because you're not just a content creator, you also have your Brick Owl account as well, and the two are intertwined.
Yep.
It would seem almost inevitable that, especially for something like law, at some point that's going to take a bit of a back seat, because there is law is just going to crank your time right up. do you how invested are you in the Brick Owl stuff? Because it seems like you get like a flurry of orders, and then I don't know how much you post, but you get a flurry and then you disappear, and then it comes, you talk about it again and they come back. So
no, you're completely right. I mean, it does happen like that. It happens in flurries, as you're saying there. So it's just a hobby, you know. I mean, I don't have loads of stock either, you know. Eventually, I just got rid of some of the boxes and just into the shed, and lots of that. I've kept all the minifigures in here though, because eventually I think I will have to sell them just for space, and it's easier than going on eBay and trying to find a decent, you know, lot that is not fake, you know, not over the price, etc. So yeah, I mean, it would probably, I don't know. It depends what happens. I would maybe have to close it. I don't know. I would have to see. But I don't get too many orders that it creates like too much time.
Yeah.
It takes up too much of my time. Unlike Ellie, who's on her brick link, she's having to do loads of videos, but haha. No, I mean, I don't post every video either. You know, sometimes most people don't actually ask. I just put them up.
Yeah, but no, it's a good way of promoting your store, and obviously that's a big part of business, right? Like you every opportunity to promote that you have a business out there is an opportunity that you should be looking to take. So, 100%, like, don't blame you, and I would do exactly the same. But yeah, it's an interesting one. And as you see, you can close your store down, like you can totally manage that. But then on the other side, you have the general TikTok creation side. We've seen quite a few people go to like in the couple of years that we've had kind of creators who are probably a year or two ahead of you, who've taken that step and gone abroad. Some have disappeared, some have tried to adapt and all of that. You know, it's just it's one of those, and I won't ask you what you'll do because the reality is you don't know. Like, it's just
no, you're right. I don't know, and the thing is, I probably would start by saying, no, I'll try and post. You know, I'll try and keep posting, but I don't know what uni life is like. So I could be jam packed. So
yeah, and ultimately, like, you want to enjoy uni life. It's more about. Exactly. It should be more about like or is equally as about the social side of it than anything else. I don't know how true this is, but so what I understand, Mike, about Aberdeen is because obviously it's a staging port for the rigs. So a lot of people go up to Aberdeen, and then they get the helicopter out to the rigs. So there's a lot of people like stay overnight and stuff there. But apparently, because of that, it has a very strong concentration of prostitutes. So I've been told that by numerous people because I've known, but they all swear that they know because they've been told. But they're all people who go up on the rigs. Just to clarify, I've never been to Aberdeen. I've been to Inverness, but I've never been to Aberdeen. So, but yeah, that's what I'm told. So.
I'm sold. I'm sold.
Well, you don't have you know, being Scottish, you don't have tuition fees to worry about, so you know you can splash your money on. Splash. Let us know when you're going, Harvey.
Yes.
There you go. So it was. So apparently it was in Ayr last Saturday. He walked past you. There you go. That's nice. You've been spotted. Influencer in the wild. There you go. But no, going back to like your Brick Owl and your TikTok, which came first? Because you see a lot of people who were influenced too. It's more so you see a lot of people more like pick up like a Bricklink store because they see other people doing it on TikTok. But then you see people who've kind of clicked on that, they realize that actually I've got this store and TikTok is a great place to promote it.
Yeah, no, it was TikTok. It was TikTok because Epic Bricks, of course, came up in my FYP. And it was back in the days when he always did the minifigure showcase thing on the spinning. He always used to spin them around. Oh, yeah. Um,
Don't go looking.
and well, and so yeah, and I just thought this is pretty cool. But this was at a time when I also just got all my Lego boxes out of storage that had just been sitting there for ages because it was lockdown, and I was like, right, well, I'm bored. I'm not here. I need to change it up a bit. So yeah, it was TikTok, and then I moved on to Brick. Well, I wanted to go into Bricklink, but then that's got the over 18 thing.
But loads of people just got like signed up under the parents' names, didn't they? So I appreciate your lack of wanting to commit fraud. So
well, that's what I'm saying here.
Well, you know, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. But yeah, it's so okay. So you would have you looked at Bricklink, but you ended up on Brick Owl for that reason.
No, I did actually buy stuff from Bricklink. You know, I did my Phantom I built just from parts. I didn't bother buying the set, and I just bought the parts for that from Bricklink. But yeah, and then I moved on to Brick Owl because I was just searching up different ones where I could sell my stuff because I realised that, you know, like I saw like I had the full Rex. I was like, oh, let's see how much all these figures go for. And I didn't realise the Lego went for that much at all. And yeah, just developed from there. And I'm so used to it now that I don't think I'll move over to Bricklink. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, so one of the things I know is, because I've seen so many people try to go through it more last year, is the onboarding process to become a Bricklink store is painful and slow. Like you have to, like the authentication. What is that like compared to Brick Owl? Is it pretty easy to onboard with them?
Bricklink, I think you need to actually send a photo of your collection.
Yeah.
A passport photo or something, or an ID photo or something like that, and all that. But in Brick Owl, you just log in. You just register. And I don't think, well, when I did it, they might have changed it now because they do have a wee bit more. I would say there is more buyers there and there's more sellers out there as well. Because I'm seeing like lots of people, even like on my store, like when they come up as buyers, I see how long they've had a Brick Owl account for. I know some are like 6 hours because they've seen my store, they've maybe seen something that they like and made an account and then I bought it. And you know, that's really encouraging for me because that makes me think, all right, okay, well, that's good. You know,
it is.
Building up.
It is. I mean, you're potentially actively influencing people, so you know, great in that respect. But I suppose that is the beauty. People think, well, I'll have a look. I'll look before I buy, and then go from there. I mean, Harvey there. So Harvey, you have both, don't you? And you know, 2 months compared to 24 hours sees it all really. And it's, I suppose, what it is, what stops like Brick Owl becoming the dominant one is just probably less known about. Bricklink is the one that everybody talks about. So, So yeah, I mean, Stevie, his was so long he decided he didn't want to sell his Lego anymore. I mean, that sees it all. Liam has asked, by the way, what are your predictions of Rangers versus Braga?
Oh, right. Well, we've beaten them before, so I think we can beat them again. And it's probably a good tie for us as well.
You're doing well in Europe at the minute, aren't you?
We are. And listen, we get past Braga and that's us into the last four. And in my opinion, anything can happen from that point on. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. But yeah, with what are the price comparisons? Both as a buyer and Harvey, feel free to chip in on this side because you I don't know if you have your I'm sure you've told me before you have your figures on both sites and you have something that takes it down from one if there's a sale on the other. But do you use Bricklink as your kind of comparison of, because it's obviously got a bigger marketplace, so is it better to kind of gauge what things are selling for? Do you have to undercut it to try and get people to come over to Brick Owl, or are you able to pretty much match?
I just, because I don't have loads of like parts and loads of minifigures, I just do it a case by case thing, really, to be honest. You know, sometimes if it is a minifigure that maybe has lots of people selling it, I might look at Bricklink, and then vice versa. If it's, you know, not lots of people selling it. You know, it's hard to gauge, and aye. So no, I mean, I sometimes use it, but not too much. Not too much. I just stick to Brick Hill.
What about the fees comparatively? Because Bricklink is somewhat expensive, isn't it? So what are Brick Hill's fees like?
Well, I think they take. I'm unsure. I think if you make like over five quid or something like that, I can't remember, to be honest. I don't think it's a lot, because I'm not like noticing it like too much. You know, sometimes you do get there is the fees, but it's if you earn a certain amount in a month that they do take so much off you. But it's not ridiculous either. The only problem, I think, and it's just for both sides as well, is the tax now with EU and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and that can complicate things a wee bit. Delivery is usually okay. There's no ridiculous deliveries. You know, try and keep it as cheap as possible, especially when you're just sending like a minifigure, you know, across the world or whatever. It shouldn't be that expensive. So yeah.
Interesting. Given where you are, how easy is it for you to source new stock? And how, like, yeah, I'll leave it at that. We'll go from that.
I mean, I don't have Facebook, so I don't really use Facebook Marketplace. Increase in the last 10 minutes. Oh no.
He wants a packaging video.
Oh, okay. Right, yeah. I'll make a good one. I'll put Flower Scotland over the top. Yeah, no, I don't use Facebook Marketplace because I don't know. I've looked at it before and I've never really seen anything to encourage it, to fancy or anything that.
Do you drive yet?
Notice? Not yet. I mean, I'm
okay.
I'm in the process of learning.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty good at it, but legally no. But no, I just look at eBay, to be honest. eBay's always just delivering stuff in, not even from the UK. Sometimes I get things in from Germany or whatever, stuff like that. Because usually I do set the setting to just UK, so the delivery cost isn't ridiculous, because you have to add that in to profits, etc. But I mean, it's okay. It's not bad. I would say it's easier, and that's why it could be easier. And that's why I'm probably starting to think about selling my own collection. Just certain themes that I'm not too fussed about.
So what's in your collection? Because obviously we know a lot of the Star Wars stuff, but and I think you were saying yesterday you've had like a bigger collection over years and you've sold some stuff on, but what do you have right now?
Well, I have like some Pirates of the Caribbean and minifigures, about 4 Jack Sparrows, so I'll definitely sell some of them. I've already sold some Pirates of the Caribbean stuff to the Star Wars guys. He bought a Blackbeard and Elizabeth Swann from me. I've got loads of DC stuff. I've got loads of Marvel stuff. Some of the Marvel stuff I've bought in, but then from my own collection as well. DC, I have a big collection. Chima, all those Chima fans out there. I don't know how I'm going to sell them.
I don't think there's any of them in this story, that's for sure.
I don't know how I'm going to sell them, to be honest. I might just need to give them to a cousin or someone. So, yeah. Ooh. No, I've a varied. Oh, crikey. I just no.
I feel like you would see the Cantina, because the Cantina is like more recent, so it doesn't feel as special. Whereas the Ghost, is
I'm just looking at the two of them. They're across from each other as well. It's like a Mexican standoff. They're both so beautiful. I don't know.
They are.
I would maybe say the Cantina, maybe, but it's
I can see that, because as you see, like you know, what, depending on the circumstances about why you would sell it, you would always have the ability to go back and buy it right now.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously with the Ghost, you wouldn't. Exactly that. But yeah, Chima, good luck with that. Maybe bundle them up and stick them on eBay and just be like, Chima.
Rare
bundle.
Chima.
Yeah, just tag every buzzword as it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's you didn't see any Star Wars. So are there any sets of your Star Wars themes that you're thinking like, I'm ready, I'm done with this, I'd start moving these on?
Well, I mean, the minifigures that I do have from like the Clone Wars eras of year 2013 to 2012, you know, I've got lots of minifigures from there. Some I might keep because some of them I do have on display. Have you had your first legal pint yet?
Must have heard you.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I was just talking about you. Yeah, no, I mean, I keep my Rex in my display from my Clone Wars, but there are lots of minifigures from Star Wars that I would probably sell as well. Trying to think what else.
Do you have any, like, through your collection, have you collected just the minifigures at all, or do you have all of the sets for your minifigures?
No, I wouldn't say so. I would say, especially with the Rebels collection, like Thrawn, I was able to get him for 20 quid. Unbelievable.
Still.
And then the Inquisitor for like 15 or something like that. And nowadays, that's gold.
But he is coming back down. He's going for about 50.
I would assume that he
would. 50 quid now.
Yeah.
There's a page that Stevie and I are in on Facebook. It's like a collector's page. And there's a guy who, I don't know how he got them. And I don't know if you saw this, Stevie, but he was like, the day that the Kenobi trailer came out, he was like, today is my day. And then he like posted this picture and he was like, right, I've got like over 100 Grand Inquisitors. And I'm just going to sell them like 10 at a time. So he sold like the first 10 for 100 quid each. Then the second day he was like, right, I'm going to do like a special offer and I'm going to do like 70 quid each and all that. And it was just weird. But
he could pay off his mortgage. Christ.
Well, yeah, and just but like it's amazing how quick you've got to be, because what happens is all of the people who then want that fig, like, buy one, and then that's it. So Liam, yes, he did go up. That figure was about 15 quid before the trailer, but then he just like it went up to like 100 quid. It's like over $100 in the US, and then it just went, and then it's just slowly dropped, and it seems to have settled at about 50 quid. But what you don't see as many seals of it anymore. But yeah, it's one of the Fifth Brother, I think, has held its price better. But you're getting some flack in the comments. Is it true?
I wish. No. Joe's a great creator. I love Joe. Yes, that's true. I was just reading that myself then, actually. Yeah. I managed to keep it a secret for ages. And then my most viral video, just like, it came up on everyone's FYP, no matter if they were like even the folk who aren't nerds.
Was it on your new account or the original account?
New account. My original one was nobody ever found that. I couldn't believe I kept a secret either. To be honest, I was like, nah, surely someone's gonna just see it. But no, it's good. It's good.
It is. It's I had the same thought, like when videos start going viral and you're like, oh shit. We go somewhere. But yeah, when is the giveaway? Are you doing a giveaway?
Yes, because I hit 5k. So
right. I thought it was for me. I thought I forgot about a giveaway I'm doing. So what are you giving away?
Two sets that I believe are actually retiring this year, and it's the Duo on Mandalore and the Hoth one, the Hoth mini thing. What's it called?
The Microfighter?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, so
Nice.
one person gets one person gets the other. Liam, soon, probably this weekend. Well, yeah, no, no, yeah, probably this weekend at some point, because I need to do it in a live, I think, just so that people don't think I'm being biased or whatever.
Of course. Of course. How
No,
many people have you got entered so far?
quite a lot. Well, for me anyway, it's like,
Are you using the spinny wheel?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Oh, it's brutal. There is no easy way to take all of
Uh-huh.
them names from the comment section.
I know.
and put them in, so.
I'm gonna be there. Let's say I'm gonna be there for an hour, just like typing everyone in.
I remember Bricks for Pennies. Can you remember his giveaway?
Oh,
Captain
Rex.
Which he never did, because I don't think he hit whatever it was.
All right.
But he'd set up a Google document. Like a Google Docs.
I remember.
People were going in and like deleting each other's names and everything from it. So like he had to do another video to be like, if I find out who's doing it. It was an absolute shambles. It was a really good idea.
Yeah,
it was a shambles.
I couldn't believe he actually put trust in loads of folk, because I remember scrolling down just random messages, because I entered it. I was like, stuff it, I'll enter this. I was scrolling down to random messages of people, and then I'm seeing gaps between. It was a shambles.
I think it's that thing, like, absolutely love Reese. And he has some brilliant ideas. But with that, I feel like he lost, like, he looked at it and thought, oh, this is an absolute shambles. And just rather than thinking, right, I'll start again, he's just like, fuck it, I'll just let it go. Like, it's good, it's done now. But it was absolutely brilliant. That absolutely loved it. I think I still don't think, because it was open for quite a while, and I don't know. I don't know if it was like when he hit 10K followers or something.
It was.
I don't think he's ever actually hit it to trigger it. I tried to push it.
Yeah.
Like, I thought, like, me doing a stitch of it would like push it there, because I thought like it's Rex. Like, people see me stitching it, like it would get a big enough audience to push in, but it still didn't happen. So he's going to come back, and he'll come back this summer, and the first thing he'll be asked is when's the giveaway.
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen him a couple of times buying up big bulks of figures, so he wants to come back with an absolute bang.
Really? Right. Okay.
Yeah, he's in the same group as like Stevie and I. And like pops on like once a week, and he's like, right, who's selling minifigure bundles? And he's like, I'm paying top money, like he's giving it the whole Reese shebang. But God love it.
It was mad. He created like this enterprise, like for 2 months, and then it was all gone, just like that. It was brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, he was so good at like just he was just Reese, wasn't it? Nobody was Reese, and he was just so good at being him, and so unapologetic for being him. Like, he talked, like, he came on here. I don't know if you ever seen the episode where he came on, and he talked absolute business. He talked money.
Yeah, I watched that one. Yeah.
And he just, like, because of course you watch them all, right? So of course you watched it. But he talked like absolute business, and with that, it was like so interesting. But there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like, it's a weird one. So he'll absolutely come back with a bang, and I think he totally sees the value of TikTok to him to push to like all of those people. So he'd sell you it as well, Stevie. He'd definitely sell you it in that regards. But yeah. On your collection, though, what's your good stuff? Because obviously you touched on your Cantina and your Ghost. We know you love those. What are your kind of like other favorite sets, both in Star Wars and across kind of other themes as well?
Well, I mean, this is probably a time now that I'm loaded after my birthday. This is probably a time that I'll be buying more. I'm hoping to buy all 3 of the Batman sets that come out, just so that I can make that a shelf, and I'll get the pop.
So what's that? The Bat Cave, the car.
Yeah, the car and the motorbike chase.
Right.
Just make a display with that, just because the movie was unbelievable.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. And then, see, now that I think of it, you made me actually think that my set. Well, I've got my friend stuff, not like friends like the wee kiddie one, like the Central Perk.
There's no judgment here, Mac. There's no judgment here. If you like
my
Lego
Chima
friends,
and my
that's fine.
friends, yes. Yeah, I mean, I've got a load of Mandalorian stuff because that's what I started with. The Trouble on Tatooine was the first set that I got when I got back into Lego. And then I moved on to Razor Crest and stuff like that. Yeah, probably that stuff. But I'd say there's more to come. There's more to come.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Do you have any of the helmets?
Yeah, I've got Vader's helmet on my Vader shelf.
Okay. Just I built the Batman cowl. It's a good one. So it's good. It's a different one. I think it's linked to the Michael Keaton. I think it's the 89 stuff, but I mean, they all look the same when they're in Lego.
No.
Like
yeah, exactly.
Good setup. Have you? Because I know you're a Marvel fan. I know you don't have the Bugle, but would you get it?
Yes, hopefully. I'm desperately trying to get it probably just before it sells out. It retires. But it's been sold out for a while. I don't know if it still is. I haven't looked. But I think you need to be quite quick. But I definitely, it's just such a good set. But then again,
I need to get it. It's one of those it's easy to buy other sets over the top of it, but I really need to buy it before it retires, because it'd be one of those that you just think like, shit, I should have bought that.
I know.
And just, even if it just sits there for 5 years in the box, because I don't touch it. Do you know, Harvey? I don't know. I feel like it will retire this year, but you never, like, I don't see this anyway. But when like M&R does the retiring list, that then is the basis of the conversation of what's retiring in the Star Wars community. I don't know anybody who does an equivalent for Marvel sets. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. But it is a hell of a set. I mean, it's been really popular, and Lego have seen to broke the mold lately that if a set is popular, they will they'll keep it out for a little bit longer as well. So
look at the Falcon.
Yeah. I mean, and Smiths have it as well. So potentially it might go on sale at some point. But I just think for that amount of money, I couldn't let the VIP points go.
Nah. When it's a big set like that, I think you have to. I don't think I have bought from any stores since recollecting.
Do you buy online or do you go into the Glasgow store?
I've went into the Glasgow store a couple times, just because we were there. But usually it's online, because usually I'm spending more than 40 quid or whatever, so I get the free delivery. So usually it's not.
Yeah. But then they still want to charge you to get the next day delivery or the 2-day delivery.
Yeah.
This is me off as well. But never do that, because it comes within 3 days anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. By the way, on your note, I don't know, when you were live yesterday and you were saying about going to Edinburgh, I was saying for where everybody is based, Manchester is probably actually a really good shout, because Manchester's like a couple of hours down from you.
Yeah,
it's probably the same, not the same distance, but the same time, because like the cross rails are always shit compared to like the up and down rail. So it could be a good thing. And then like there's people around, so game to get on a session in Manchester.
Exactly. No, listen, Brick Talk out in Manchester. Yeah, no, I'd be down for that.
Absolutely. But yeah, what's on your? So we've talked about what's on your wish list there, but you then talked about what's on your Star Wars Lego wish list. Is there anything standing out?
What do I have? Well, I definitely would be looking to get the Palace, even though it's not as good as it probably could be. Boba Fett's Palace, probably. Trying to think.
What was the last Star Wars set that, when it was announced or when it was released, when we knew what we were getting, that made you think, I need that set?
Ooh. I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was quite hyped about the meditation chamber when it was first spoken about. I thought it looked quite cool. Yeah, probably that.
In theory, when you think about it, like meditation chamber is definitely the wrong word for it. Like Vader is not chill. Like he doesn't go in there and do a bit of yoga.
I know. He's not going to be like you know.
Yeah, he doesn't come out of there like a better person, does he? He comes out of there and like force chokes people. So
or in there, you know. I think,
well, exactly. Doesn't even have to leave the meditation chamber.
No.
But yeah, sorry. Any others that any other sets that really caught your eye when they were released?
See, that's the problem, because I don't think there's been any amazing sets that have just been like standout for a while now. You know, I think there's always been you know, little things that they could have changed. I actually think that the Starfighter, the Mando Starfighter, looks class. Like I will buy it. I will buy that.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I will buy that straight away. Yeah. No, not really. I mean, I'm not really selling Lego here, but
I think so. I mean, it should do, shouldn't it? I think we'll get the back tank, and I think we'll get Vader's castle. So I think Vader's castle will go up in value. It's that set that's secretly retired in the new year. It never had that retiring soon button. So, but yeah, I think it'll. I reckon at the peak of Kenobi, if it shows up, which it would make sense for it to show up, I reckon 200 quid for a sealed Vader's castle, 200 quid plus. Because people will go mad for it.
No, I know. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
We'll see.
I'm just thinking people even who aren't like into Lego completely would probably go for it as well, just because it's quite a cool thing just to sit somewhere.
My perspective as well on lighting kits has changed quite a bit recently. So I think there are some sets that I still want one for the cantina, because it really brings the cantina to life, because it's a cantina, it's a building. There are some where I'm starting to think like, yeah, it looks a bit cheesy on there now, but there is a good one for the Vader's castle, because all it does is sit behind the lava.
Right.
And you can get one where it dims and lights up, so it looks like the lava's flowing. Because the lava's translucent bricks, isn't it? So it's
all right. I might have a look at that. Yeah, I haven't had one yet. I haven't bought one yet, but
it's so I've got them on some of the helmets. I think, do I have all of the helmets? I think so, but they're good. Like on some of them, they're good, but on some of them, they're a bit like it's a bit like they just don't look like that. But I like Boba Fett's, because it has the light on the top of the rangefinder and stuff like that. They're a bit funny like that, but yeah, they're all right, I suppose. Should we kick off a bit of a debate?
Oh dear.
But it's a debate that me and you are on the same side of the fence on.
Okay. Right.
But so the debate is going to be more in the comment section, and I'm really interested to see, for people who are watching this back and not watching it live, what their comments may be. So if you are watching this later, let us know in the comments your thoughts on this as well. But chat who are with us, please take part in this conversation. And if you haven't already, hit the like button, let people know it's worth a watch. But tell me, Mac, why is Rebels better than the Clone Wars?
Oh, here we go. Right. I always like to use the phrase quality over quantity when it comes to the two. You know,
Alex Ferguson couldn't have put it better himself, could he?
Exactly. No. Very proud. Yeah, no, it's just quality over quantity. I think just consistently, you know, when you first start Rebels, you do see that, you know, childish, I suppose, side to it all, but so's Clone Wars is like that as well. You know what I mean? They're both kids shows. You know, they're both on, you know, Cartoon Network, etc. You know, They're both meant to be kid shows, but I also just think the development's so good because it's kept to that one area, to the one ghost crew, not extending it out. Blasphemy. That's my stance on this. Yeah, nah. Rog, just waste. Rog, just don't even. Sorry, that was quite loud. I love both, but Clone Wars better. Nah. Oh well, I'm just not winning this. I'm here. No, but it's just, I don't know. It just connects to me better. I don't know why. I just think, as I was saying, quality over quantity. I think you can always watch Rebels all the way through.
Yeah,
I would say. But see, when it comes to Clone Wars, there's so many. I think there's whole seasons that aren't, that just slow it down ridiculously and just make you click off. Like I have clicked off like mid-episode, not because I had to go somewhere, but just because I'm bored out of my tits.
Yeah.
So, but I would also say the fact that on Disney Plus they have to use, they made a series, which was what's the word I'm looking for? They made the series, but it has the episodes that matter so much to the story. What's the word I'm looking at? For they call it something like the vital episodes or whatever. They call it something like that.
Yeah.
And so they have all the episodes that add to the story of Clone Wars. So they have, they grab a few from season 1, a few from here, a few from here. And then they have the whole of season 7, which, to be fair, season 7 I have rewatched through. I've rewatched season 7 just because it is, I think, excluding the sisters, to be honest. And then the twins, the Martinez, am I right?
Martinez sisters,
Martinez sisters. So, yeah, the fact that they have to have that. Just
do you know much. Do you know what I would say about what makes season 7 of Clone Wars brilliant? It doesn't take anything from Rebels, but it follows a similar path in that it's almost one big story that they're telling over those episodes. Now, it's obviously a shorter series compared to the earlier series. I think that was one of the biggest things. But obviously it was far more meant for kids back then. So like it was meant that every episode is just kind of like its own episode and they would do little
adventure
connections. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it kind of had that. So it's difficult to compare it watching back. But with Rebels, like some episodes are kind of a bit like, but like, do you want to elaborate?
I think he's talking about Leia Martinez.
Oh, of course, yeah, of course.
Oh, something else, man.
Yeah.
My age as well.
Yeah. Is she?
Yeah. 19.
Oh, shit. Fair
that's actually, sorry, no, that's what Ellie posted. That's what Ellie commented on my birthday video. She tagged Slays and put, he's legal now.
Well, I mean, if Slayers ever came over here, you've been ready and waiting for a good 2 years now.
Exactly. If she comes over for a premiere, which she probably will, knowing her at some point, then listen, I'm there.
Exactly. But yeah, with Rebels, for me, what it does is it progresses the story better than anything. It's that constant narrative. The character development is sensational. Like, what's his name? The Agent Callus. Agent Callus goes from one of the most hated characters to like one of the best characters.
Unsung heroes.
Until he has them. Until he looks like he's from the 1970s when he joins the Rebels. I don't know why they dressed him like that. But he's brilliant.
Difference.
But then absolutely love that. But I think what I love is the way they mix the characters up and they all have like an arc with each other. So obviously like, especially with Ezra, and Ezra's obviously the core of that, but he has his story with Zeb, like they're like big brother, little brother.
That story with Zeb is quality. I think that is that character development there. Just they're going to find fruit, and somehow they've managed to make that like amazing. Like I love how they developed that.
Is that the one where they end up with the steal the TIE fighter?
Yeah. And they say that they've destroyed it, but they didn't.
They just stash it away. Absolutely love that.
Brilliant.
And then, you know, obviously he fancies Sabine, so he's always trying to like show off to Sabine. Why wouldn't you?
And that's what Stevie just saying in the comments.
Exactly. If Stevie loves a bit of Sabine, but then obviously there's the relationship with like Kanan. Is like, it's weird. Is it like Kanan like a father figure to him, or is Kanan more like an older brother, or like it's tough in that respect. But then Hera is she more like a big sister, or is she like the mother and all that? And even Chop as a droid is.
He doesn't say anything, but he just, you know, he's still really
brilliant, isn't he? He's absolutely brilliant. And do you know what? It's with Rebels, they really could have took that dynamic and applied it to, in a very non-obvious way, to the Bad Batch. Yeah. Because they're all living on a ship, they're moving around a little bit. They didn't, and they focused on like 1, 2, or 3. You know, Hunter and Omega, with then like Wrecker, but then after that they just like the others just fizzled away a little bit, and it's disappointing.
No, I know. I'm hoping they redeem themselves, because I think if we then see season 1 to season 2, like, and it's great, like season 2 is brilliant, I think we'll forget about season 1, and we'll just watch. And if somebody else is watching it through all the way through, they will enjoy it thoroughly.
Yeah.
And I think it could. It's placed it in an interesting time, you know, a time that we haven't seen much of.
Exactly, and I really they could do a lot with it, and it's great that they're doing it with the Bad Batch. And I'm interested to see what they do more of as well. But yeah, it definitely has good potential. It has a great potential to tell more of that story. And it's a period that we really want to see a lot of.
Agreed.
So yeah, interested to see what they do. And then obviously we've got Kenobi series as well. Like Kenobi series is going to show us like the peak of the Empire, like the height of the Empire. Yep. So I'm really interested to see.
But I think we see a lot of that in Rebels. And that's another great thing about it. Yeah. We see how from a Rebels perspective, how it looks, and how it looks like they're going to develop, or how they develop eventually and come together. But then we see that there are spats between groups, you know, as well. So yeah, quality.
Yeah,
quality TV.
It's a great thing, and that's why I love the Empire, because the Empire Age, because like that big bad always makes for a great story.
Yeah.
Especially when the big bad are like kind of in that position of power. So really interested to see with that. But yeah, Kenobi, right? I mean, like, it's what were your thoughts on the trailer?
I think they got it spot on, to be honest. Like, you can shove your Inquisitor like opinions right up your arse. I don't care. Like, he's a human. He's not going to have a head like a Tic Tac. Like, so no, I think they got it perfect. That Duel of Fates was just
I wasn't expecting Duel of Fates.
No, neither was I. And I don't know why they've put it in, because in my opinion, I don't think we should see Maul in it.
No.
And I don't know why they put it in, and now I'm a bit scared, because we're now just going to maybe see a bit of fan service that might not need to be there.
Yeah. So. Yeah. It's because the problem is, right, from a Maul perspective, he's deep in Crimson Dawn time then. How does this relate to, and Harvey, you might know better on this, but how does it relate time-wise to Solo? This is 10 BBY, I think.
Yeah. It must be near Solo.
It's got to be there or thereabouts, but I'm thinking if it's set slightly after, then you have the potential. What it could do is, so this is one of the, because what I think is, what I don't want it to do is to tell a Maul story.
No.
Where it's totally disconnected. But there is an unanswered question around how does Maul fall from power? Like, how does he fall from his power of Crimson Dawn? Because we see him in Solo, and he's the king of the criminal underworld at that point. But the suspicion there would be, and what would make sense, is that it's his obsession, that ultimately everything he wants to do is driven by his hate and thirst for revenge from Kenobi. And what we could see is that. So what we could see him, the criminal empire kind of falling around him. We might even see Kira. We might see Kira kill him and assume that kind of throne. We could see that. No, sorry, we wouldn't see a kill. Why did I say that?
No.
We'd see it. We'd see her like dethrone him a little bit.
I could see that.
You know, maybe even underhandedly. Like, you go on, Maul, you go and do what you need to do. I've got it here, knowing that he's never going to come back. So it's there is kind of potential, because then they could just leave it at that. And then what we know is, the next thing we know is that Maul turns up in Rebels, connects with Ezra, and he's gone a bit mad. Not that he was ever stable. So there's, if they do that, it could work. But if they do too much, and does it really need it?
I've said, though, ever since I watched Solo for the first time, I've always thought that they need a Solo 2. Why would they bring Maul into it and then just leave it for so many years? I think they could do with a season 2, just to look at that Crimson Dawn thing, because we spoke about Boba Fett, and there was lots of rumors that Crimson Dawn would come into that, which of course didn't particularly. We didn't see Maul, didn't see Kira, but I'm not mad about that. I think they left it how they should have. But I always think there's something unfinished there. But I don't know if Kenobi's the best place to place it. That's all. Just like to put it. So I'm unsure. I mean, I would still go mental if Maul turns up, to be honest.
That's the thing, isn't it? We would. But I as long as they didn't do it over the top, because like Maul could be what Mando was to Boba, which we don't want that. Like, you're almost like, this is brilliant, but then at the same time you're like, what about Kenobi?
This is Kenobi's show.
But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see whether they do it. But I totally agree, and I think with Solo, and I was talking about this to someone a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember who. I think it was Grandmaster Beale. The Solo film, I think, came too soon. I think it came at a time when Disney just didn't know what the big picture was yet, like to where we are now.
Yeah.
And I think if it was to come now, it'd probably pretty much be the same movie, but what it would do is it would have the projects lined up straight off the back of it, like what they do in the MCU, to start to build on those characters.
Yeah.
And I think, a Maul series would be set between Solo and Rebels, basically taking them to, I always forget the name of the planet. Malachor? No. Do you know on Rebels where they go to the Sith planet and they go to the Sith temple?
Oh, yeah, it's Malachor. Yeah.
Is it Malachor?
Yeah, because Yoda goes there in Clone Wars.
Yes. Yeah. Is it the same planet?
At least. It might not be. It doesn't look like it.
I don't know.
It doesn't look like it, actually. You're right.
No, it doesn't. Does it? I think Malachor is the... I think Malachor must be the one from Yoda. But it might not be that one. But anyway, that one. But what we know is he's been on there for some time. He got stranded there. And then the Inquisitors are hunting him as well. That would be cool that it kind of ends there. And then it's like, well, you've watched Rebels, so you know.
And if you haven't watched Rebels, what are you doing?
I know. Imagine not watching Rebels.
Just like out of spite. It's just like...
I'm surely people who've watched The Mandalorian now know. They now know. Like, that's just the crack. So
I know.
What do you guys see? Did you guys see the Maul main? If they made a seems like this guy will break the internet. It probably would. It would. The question will be is who would play him? Would they get Ray Park to live action him, but Sam to voice him?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Because apparently that's what they did in Solo.
Well, Sam has to voice him, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%.
I think Sam. Yeah, Sam is Darth Maul. So, did he do him in Rebels?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he did.
Because he does the whole. It's him that does Kenobi, isn't it?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
But yeah, they in Solo, it's Ray who's. Is it Ray that's? Did they bring Ray Park back for Solo? I'm sure it is.
Yeah,
then it's Sam that does the voice it. So they've done that. But obviously that works on a hologram because it's a bit glitchy, so you can get the dubbing right on it.
I know.
But yeah, I think. So James, I did see that though, that they did bring Ray Park in for it, but then he's been like dismissed or he's decided to walk away. But they changed their minds on it for whatever reason. But I don't know. It'd be really cool, but I don't think I agree. This isn't the project to see Maul in. Maul is like deserving. Imagine, right? Imagine you've never watched the Clone Wars and you've never watched Solo and you've never watched Rebels.
Like how do you know the story?
But then, but exactly, you're a Star Wars, which is fine. Like people watch what they want. But then imagine being like, oh yeah, we're doing a Maul series set like between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, and you're like, how?
Yeah. He's alive.
Yeah, I'm sure people know. But yeah. But yeah, it's like it'd be awesome to do it, but we'll see. What are you thinking about? Because we've got the Ahsoka series coming up, which the Ahsoka series is then essentially the next series of Rebels that it would seem. And we've got a lot of the castings out.
Yeah, I think we do.
How are you feeling about them?
I looks brilliant. I think they're going to get it top notch. I think the fact that, well, I mean, they keep bringing Ahsoka in, which is just hilarious. She just keeps popping up. It's brilliant. Like, why are you here? But fair enough, we'll still get excited about you. No, it's just like a Rebels Part 2. And just where they ended Rebels perfectly, may I add as well, ended Rebels. I think it's so much potential. And the fact that it's live action as well, you know, they just need to get it right, and they need to use the Rebels, as we were talking about there, their development, etc. That they used in Rebels. They can't stray away, and they need to stick to Rebels. I think, to be honest. I mean, of course, it's got to be about Ahsoka. Yeah, and I think they will add in lots of things from Clone Wars, etc. But she, from that point, is on her mission to find Thrawn and Ezra. You know, so that's what's been spoken about. That's how Rebels ended. That's how it looks like in The Mandalorian. She was just having a vacation with Luke in Book of Boba Fett. So, vacation. That's so American of me. A holiday. But yeah, I'm buzzing. I think it's going to be good.
Do we know who's playing Hera yet? Because I know there's some like unnamed, like they've cast people, but they haven't said who that person is going to play yet, do we? Well, there are some that are named.
Well, there's a live action Hera in Squadrons, the video game.
Okay, yeah.
So I believe she's in it. I only played it a few times when it was free, because I'm not paying money for that. God, it's not that good.
No, I didn't know that one.
No, garbage. And so I don't know. I would assume I don't know. I would assume she would still be generated. So I don't know. But I'm unsure. And the thing is, I know the faces of the guys who they've cast as Ezra and Sabine, but I don't know their names.
So
But
no, I don't know the name, but I know
Yeah.
the guy that they've cast as Ezra is the guy who plays Aladdin in the live action.
Oh, right, okay.
But yeah, yeah, you've got that, and I know Lars Mikkelsen is playing Thrawn, who voiced Thrawn in Rebels.
Yeah, that came out not long ago.
Which I think is, where you can, you cast the voice actor.
Agreed.
And look, he's brilliant, and he looks a lot like Thrawn. He's quite tall and slender.
Yeah.
So, whoa! Did you see that?
What? Oh, for God's sake, James! I used to like you.
Not everybody appreciates art like I do. Yeah. But yeah, it's so, and I saw that they cast Sabine, but I don't know if it was officially confirmed that it was Sabine or if it was because the girl was, I believe she was Asian, like Southeast Asian. So I don't know if it was, I presumed that she was playing Sabine, but but yeah, it looks really cool. I do you know, I'm really interested to see who they get to play Zeb, because Zeb is like a big character.
Is it not the voice actor? There was talk about that the voice actor would do it as well. The guy who plays Alfred in Batman, did he not voice act him?
Andy Serkis.
Or am I talking utter shite?
No, it's not. Andy Serkis is not. No, yeah.
I don't know. Chat. Chat. I have no idea. I might be wrong.
So I don't know if Corin is trying to wind you up or not, but I wouldn't necessarily say Vader did.
Nah.
I know Vader had some great scenes, like the temple scene was awesome. I would say Thrawn and Maul more so, but like Thrawn was introduced in that, so I would say fair enough. Like he was that. No, Zeb Aurelius was voiced by Steve Bloom.
Oh, I am.
So yeah, definitely not.
Close.
And it looks like he does like he's a voice actor by the looks of it. I mean, he definitely doesn't look like a Zeb.
By the looks of it.
Yeah.
Violation.
But I always forget Freddie Prinze Jr. Voiced Kanan.
Who's that?
So Freddie Prinze Jr. he was like really popular in the 90s and the early noughties. But when you said Friends, so do you know the Friends episode? So he used to go out with Sarah Michelle Gellar. I don't know who he's married to now. I'm sure he's married to someone popular. But you know the Friends episode where they Ross and Rachel get the nanny in and they trial at different nannies, and then the guy comes and he's like,
oh, the guy.
Yeah, that's Freddie Prinze Jr. So that's actually So he voices
the guy who plays Fred in Scooby Doo.
Yes, that's him,
isn't it?
Yeah. He voices Kanan Jarrus. And he sounds nothing like
I was gonna say.
Sounds absolutely nothing like him. Still married to Buffy, so he's still married to Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Oh, well done.
Lad. Well done. And were they in Cruel Intentions together? Because I remember Ryan Philippe was in that. I don't know if Freddie Prinze Jr. was in that as well. That's a fantastic film. Sarah Michelle Gellar and Selena Gomez. No, not Selena Gomez. What's her name? But it was quite a big deal. So it was out about the same time as like American Pie.
Oh, right.
So
okay. I've seen American Pie. Come on.
Yeah. But like, think like the lewdness in there. Like you just didn't get that at the time. It was like a big deal. And then obviously, what's it called? Cruel Intentions. They have like a lesbian kiss in it, which is pretty cool. So
Cruel Intentions, did you say? Right, I'll just
Cruel Intentions,
Right,
Cruel
okay,
Intentions,
cool.
yeah.
Very good.
So there you go. Stevie knows. Before I even got in, Stevie knew. But yeah, it was like a big deal at the time. So yeah, it was good. I think it won like best kiss at the MTV Movie Awards one year. But
I
then,
would have voted for it.
and of course, Sarah Michelle Gellar voices is it the seventh sister or is it the second sister? Which one's the one that's in Fallen Order?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know. In Fallen Order.
Mm-hmm.
Is it not a ninth sister?
No. So Sarah voices the one
no.
that's in Rebels, the really thin one that's with the fifth brother all the time.
Yeah.
So that's Sarah Michelle Gellar.
She's annoying. Yeah.
I know, but it's Sarah Michelle Gellar. So
I know.
So it's fine. But second is Triller. Okay, yeah. So seventh is that? I'm sure there was tongues.
Oh, crikey.
If you see it, so Stevie. I probably haven't seen Cruel Intentions since I was like 17-year-old and found the hub. Because that's what you got to remember, Mac, right? So here's the thing, right? You are now officially half my age. I am now officially twice your age.
Oh,
and
crikey.
now you're like 80. So like, I am like of a time before the hub. Internet porn when I was your age was images, and it would take about 45 seconds for an image to load.
Yeah,
and then you'd have to like disconnect because somebody wanted to use the phone. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So like, and then we went through this really weird period whereby we all got like mobile phones that could like video phones, like where you could watch videos.
Right,
and so like people would only share really weird videos, like porn video, but like it wasn't like, because I would use the word porn as like something enjoyable, something you'd watch for an enjoyable moment. These things were sexualized, but they were not.
Nothing's changed.
So, but yeah, it was like really weird videos. But yeah, with that, what it meant was things like Cruel Intentions and Lesbian Kisses went down well. Anna Friel, first lesbian kiss on Brookside. I still remember that. I was only about 7-year-old.
The comments are slayers.
Channel 5, Stevie, honestly, about 3 months ago, Channel 5 played Red Shoe Diaries again. Red Shoe Diaries see me through from the age of about 14 to 16 or something. David Duchovny, weirdly. But yeah, yes, Harvey, it is. Well, it's a nerdy stream. It's a media stream, you know. We'll who knows? But yeah, I told you it was a bit more grown up. But I don't even know how we got on now. But yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar. The Opie-verse well, next week it's going to be your top 3 porn videos. But yeah, never mind. Someone commented earlier on, I think it was Yomir Corin, I think, I had asked about your top 5 Jedi. Is there a story there?
It was Callum. I think it was Rog. Yeah, it was Callum.
All right.
Yeah. No, he's slating me for my Jedi list because I don't have. No, I think I had Luke at the bottom at 6, and I had Anakin top. No, Obi-Wan top, Anakin, Ezra, Kanan, Ahsoka, and then look, how many is that? Like just going over the top. So that's my list, and he was slating me for it because I put Luke so far down. But it's my generation, you know. I don't have this. Luke isn't the chosen one for me, you know. Anakin's my chosen one.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, when I did mine was like my favorite characters that are Jedi, not like my favorite Jedi, because like doesn't mean it. And I don't really like the Jedi. Like I just, especially in the prequels, because they're a bit like
they're so dumb. Clone Wars as well. Holy shit! Like they're so oblivious.
Mm-hmm. It just 100%. But and like as I see it, like Anakin for me was always Vader in waiting. He was never Anakin. He was never like Anakin in his own right. For me, he was always like Vader in waiting. So, and I think that was a big part of the problem with the sequels, is that didn't live up to their expectation. Whereas for your generation who've grown up like it's almost Anakin first. You have seen Anakin become Vader. And that
Yeah.
perspective's very different. Whereas for me, it's always like, just die already, will you, and get your mask on. And
No, exactly. It's not. And those lists, when I saw them going around, that sound was used by loads of creators. It always came from FYP. And then I told off and doing it, but I was like, right, okay, come on, content.
Was it the pose?
Yeah.
Pose.
Yeah.
Roger.
That one. Yeah, that one. But then I saw some people do like strongest Jedi's, and I was like, I don't want to do that. That's just attracting, attention unwanted. Like, because I put maybe like Yoda above Mace, and somebody would go mental probably in the comments. Like
people love Mace Windu in the comment sections of videos.
I know, it's so weird. I don't think anything of him. He's the guy who failed to kill the Emperor, for me. So.
Well, exactly. Like he should have done better. By the way, Corin, these are the Kallax shelves from IKEA. They usually come in equal boxes, so you can see like a bit of a divider there. Usually they have them in, and you can see the pegs. But I took the top dividers out to open them up fully. So Kallax, Kallax, and then there are there you can buy like display stands and stuff that fit are made specifically for them as well. So there you go. Never mind. But yeah, with Mace, it's a funny one that I feel like we need more Mace Windu content, but as a prequel to the Clone Wars. I don't want him to come back because it means that anybody can come back.
No, the fact that there was people talking about that and getting hyped, like. I generally wouldn't. Like, I would go. My reaction would probably be like, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
I'd be interested and be invested to see what they would do with them, but I would just be so.
No, I totally agree. Like, it's just. So here's my hot take, right? Samuel L. Jackson is wasted as Mace Windu, looking from now. So back then, we didn't know where it was all going. And he is brilliant at Mace Windu. Like, I think people love Mace Windu because of Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
But Samuel L. Jackson is probably, it's 70-year-old, is probably in the peak of his career, in the peak of his demand.
Yeah.
Especially within, like, a nerd world. So I think if he had not been in the Star Wars universe, he would have a strong, consistent role in it right now. So
I know.
As an actor.
No, I agree. My hot take would probably be that he's better in the Marvel universe. He's better used in the Marvel universe than he was in the Star Wars one. But that's probably not a hot take. That just is,
Nick Fury is a great character though. Like, even long before, so it kind of like there's a bigger place for him. So I totally get that.
Yeah.
I asked this question to Choco last week, and kind of asked it quite openly. But is there an actor who hasn't been in Star Wars who you would like to see brought into the Star Wars universe? Because I thought of this question when we got Danny Trejo in the Book of Boba Fett. I was like, didn't know I needed this, but this is unreal that he's now in there. Is there any that he would have?
I would quite like to see Benedict Cumberbatch. I would assume that his race for Thrawn is now over because there's lots of talk that that position's been filled. But I just don't know. He's got this mystique about him, and him playing Doctor Strange as well. He's got his arrogant side there as Doctor Strange, etc. He's quite animated. But he can change back to British probably, speak like he normally does, and I don't know. And he's an amazing actor. So.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm just eating my mini eggs, which are the noisiest food ever. With the Thrawn books, potentially you could expand into the like the Chiss kind of species and bring them in more, and potentially you'd have a place there. It's clutching and it's reaching, but there is potential. What I understand of Thrawn is he is quite typical of the Chiss, so like that kind of cold,
mystique,
logic. So potentially they could, he could come in like that, and we don't know where the Thrawn character is going. But yeah, it'd be Benedict would be pretty good. I think again, like there are loads of ways of coming in. I think he would. I don't know what content it would be, but he'd make a really good young Yularen. Like if you did it, because Yularen was quite old anyway in the Clone Wars. And then and then he's in Rebels and stuff. But I think really good. See the Samuel Jackson comments coming in now. Pulp Fiction, obviously that is peak. Richmond Valentine, that's what's it called? Kingsman. That's Kingsman, isn't it? He's all right in that.
What? He's in Kingsman.
Yeah, he's like the bad guy in the first one, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he is quite good there actually.
Yeah.
He's
like a billionaire or something, isn't he? But
and he's and it is like it's Samuel Jackson, it's like he's motherfucker. So
But even like he's had some hell of a roles. Django Unchained he's brilliant in that. And they're all very different roles. But I think he's just do you know I really like him in the Hitman's Bodyguard, if you've ever seen that with Ryan Reynolds.
He's
just,
that's a quality movie, by the way. I think that's an underrated movie. I really like that.
I haven't seen the second one, but I need to see
I haven't seen the second one either. But the first one. But Ryan Reynolds just in general, I think he's so peak, I think. Just in anything that he does. Do you not agree? With what?
So, first of all, hey, Sai, how are you? Nice to have you in here.
Hello, Sai.
Sai, I've got one of your countrymen in next week, or country women, should I say? More on that later. So, love Ryan Reynolds. But this is much more true now than ever for him. He is a one character pony. Like the Deadpool character is very similar to like that, just kind of like it. Well, Deadpool is very similar to the character he played in what was it? Red with The Rock and Gal Gadot. Again? Red something.
It's quite a recent movie, isn't it?
Yes, it was on Netflix, I think, just before Christmas. But I just like that kind of sarcastic kind of tone that I don't like. Sarcastic comedy tone. He's just like,
I like it because the thing is like
Red Notice. That's it.
Right, okay. Because for instance, like my favorite character in Friends is Chandler, and especially like early seasons, early doors, just his sarcastic humor. I don't know why. It just
totally get it.
That's the humor that.
When Matthew Perry then tried to do loads more films and just play Chandler in every film, everybody was like, well, he's just Chandler.
No,
and I just think that's my only thing. And Liam, you said about like The Rock, kind of. I mean, The Rock he just plays the muscle. I did think he played a great role in Red Notice, though. But to be fair, if you've ever seen, what's it called? The one with Mark Wahlberg, and it's got Anthony Mackie in as well. It's a true story where they basically try to rip off a millionaire and take all his money and kill him, and it doesn't work. It's a true story.
All right. Okay.
It's gonna. But basically, The Rock plays. Come on, chat, help us out. It was something in. Pain and Gain. It's
all right. Okay.
If you've never seen this film, watch this film. It's a brilliant film. But The Rock basically comes out of prison, and he he's obviously The Rock, so he's massive,
Nah.
and he like gets his life back in order and comes like he becomes a he's like born again Christian and all that, but he's like a former drug addict and all that. And he's like, no, I'm going to do it. And then basically Mark Wahlberg, he's a bit simple, so Mark Wahlberg just totally manipulates him and he's like, no, like we're going to do this, and they just like basically get this guy, and it's the guy from the first Man in Black film. Who do you know the one where they shoot his head and his head regrows? He's the alien from the first Man in Black.
Oh, right, okay.
So it's like him, and he plays the millionaire, and they just somehow managed to get him to sign everything over fraudulently. But it's brilliant. But The Rock in it is fantastic in it, and it's one of his earlier films. But Pain and Gain, honestly, watch it, because I love Mark Wahlberg. Is a slept-on actor. I have never watched a bad Mark Wahlberg film.
No, I would say, I think he can change his character up a wee bit more than, as you're saying, you know, your Rocks and your, he's in Ted, isn't he?
Who?
Mark
Wahlberg. Yeah,
of course. Yeah, no, I was just double checking that.
Have you seen Uncharted?
No, but I've heard good things. I've heard good things that it's a good
it's really good.
Movie. I watched the only thing I know about Uncharted is that I did watch Jacksepticeye's playthrough of it. Like I don't know, whenever he played it, but that's all I know. I don't know much about it, so but I may go see it.
Oh, he doesn't. Wahlberg's a fantastic actor. He's the best actor never to win an Oscar.
No, I would agree. I think he's a good. I would agree and say that he is a good actor.
Yeah. No, I do. I really like Mark Wahlberg. Do you know what Mark Wahlberg is really good at doing? Like above average films and making them kind of like good. Like he's just like one of my favorite films of his is Shooter, and it's such a nothing film.
Right.
But it's a brilliant. Like he's brilliant in it. So brilliant. Can't even remember how I got that. What about Daddy's Home 2? It was
good movie.
Is that the one where his dad's Mel Gibson? And then the other one's John Lithgow, because John Lithgow's dad's of Will Ferrell.
Well, Will Ferrell, Will Ferrell's in it.
And
Yeah.
By the way, John Lithgow, what an actor he is. Yeah. What a. Do you know who John Lithgow is?
I know the name.
Yeah. Departed. So he played Churchill in The Crown. If you've watched The Crown.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
His best ever role, season 3 of Dexter. If you've ever watched Dexter, he plays the Trinity Killer in Dexter. He is fantastic in that.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
There's so much things for me to watch now. Just after the last half hour.
Exactly. Do you also like? There's been a lot of talk about this lately, but away from Star Wars, but Star Wars can of course be in there. Mm-hmm. What are like your go-to films? I feel like it's difficult to say like your favorite films, because your favorite film now is different to when you wake up in the morning, different to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But do you have like go-to films?
I mean, you know, I like your comedies. I mean, I wouldn't say. The thing is, I usually like to keep my action to your Marvels and your Star Wars. Like that's where my action movies majority I watch. You know, I've never seen like Die Hard. Sorry.
What? You've never seen Die Hard?
I've never watched it.
How have you never seen Die Hard?
I just don't watch it because it's not a thing that we watch at Christmas or whatever. You know, we watch the actual Christmas movies.
Whoa. So. You can't make claims like that when you've never watched it.
It's not a Christmas movie.
It fucking is.
How?
Well, one, you've never seen it, so you wouldn't know, but it's set at a Christmas party, for starters.
Okay.
If the Christmas party wasn't exactly Spawn, exactly.
Spawn. Sorry, Spawn.
If it wasn't for the Christmas party, the threat couldn't have happened. Like, the opportunity wouldn't have been there. I mean, he writes on a T-shirt, on a jumper, "Ho, ho, ho, I've got a machine gun." And dresses the guy like it's 100% a Christmas film, 100%.
I'll give it a watch. That's another thing I need to watch. But those are yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So, wow.
Oh dear.
Wow.
Oh dear.
So,
Getting selected.
do you have any? So do you have any like guilty pleasure movies? So any ones that people would be like, I can't believe you like that, but like absolute guilty pleasure, or ones that are just out, not so much that people you would get grief for, but just ones that like people wouldn't necessarily see like, oh, that's a good film or a great film, but when you say it, people are like, oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about them earlier. I mean, the American Pie movies are pretty. I think they're pretty funny, and I think if you're in that mood just to watch those sorts of movies, if you got, like, for instance, I was round at one of my pals once, and we just put it on just because it's a hilarious movie, and it just in the background. So yeah, maybe them. I'm trying to think what else. No.
While you think, I'll tell you a story about so I was 15 when American Pie came out. And being 15-year-old, you tend to knock about in like big groups of like lads and lasses. And I can't remember what happened, but all the lads that day went somewhere and I didn't. I can't remember why. And I didn't go. I can't remember why. And I then went out and there was I was going somewhere and I seen the group of the girls who were part of our bigger group, and they were like, "Oh, you all right?" Like, I thought you were out with the lads. I was like, "Oh, I didn't go or whatever." And they were like, "Oh, well, it's like it was one of their birthdays, so we're going to the cinema. Do you want to come?" And I was like, "What are you going to see?" And they were like, "American Pie." And I was like, and I was like, all right, okay, I'll come. And then so somehow managed, sat in the middle of like 6 girls, and then obviously the like the best scene for any 15-year-old boy comes on, and like with Nadia, and like I'm just like sat in the middle of these girls who are like, oh my god, this is so disgusting, I can't believe this. And I'm like, this is fucking brilliant. This, like, what on earth is going on? Like, this is unbelievable. So yeah, that was a great day for me. That was a great day. It's fantastic. But yeah, any others?
I've watched Kissing Booth. That might be a bit.
I've never watched that.
Never watched it.
I'm surprised that I haven't watched it. I'm surprised the missus hasn't kind of made me watch that one.
It's just a rom-com, isn't it? I've watched all 3. It just gets worse, to be honest. Not gonna lie. I say watch the first one and just you'll be fine with that. To be honest, I wouldn't bother with the rest.
I definitely didn't cut a hole at the bottom.
Steady.
Have you watched? I only have to ask because I did the TikTok on it a week ago, but it is like an absolute that moment. Have you seen Mr. and Mrs. Smith with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie?
I haven't. Is it on Prime?
Honestly. No, it's on Disney Plus. It's under Star.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah,
it's under Star. So, yeah, like it's unbelievable film, and it was the film that where on set them two got together, and then he ended up divorcing Jennifer Aniston.
Right. Okay.
So, but then obviously when you see what Angelina Jolie's wearing, it's unsurprising, really.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's great film. I think like I said this to someone the other day, but absolute, like it's probably not that controversial, but the reason why you wouldn't think, but like not like a hangover film, not like when you just rush and you need something like I don't mean the hangover films, but you know when you're hungover and you just need like a film, but you like, do you know, like when you might not get this because you don't really get it when you're 18, but what starts happening is when you get older and you get hungover, you get tired and you get really emotional. So like sometimes you just got to like break, like kind of relieve the pressure and just like put something on that like is a bit of a tearjerker. But like I cry at really weird films, at really weird moments. So and my number one is Cool Runnings. If you,
Right,
I swear,
okay,
like
yeah.
I swear, right, honestly,
Cool Runnings is
get
quality.
gets me every time. But it's so
Uh-huh.
I cry at like proud moments, not sad moments, if that makes
Uh-huh, yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah.
But then obviously if I'm like rough as fuck and I'm hanging, like I'll do, but you know the bit where they crash the bobsleigh, spoiler alert, I mean it's been out like 30 years, but
I mean, yeah,
they
uh-huh.
crash the bobsleigh and then they like throw it on the they get out and then they throw it on the shoulder and then they walk the rest of the distance.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
then Junior, his son's there, and his dad's there, and his dad starts applauding them, and then
Mhm.
like the Germans start applauding them, and everything
Yeah,
feels
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
rivals.
Uh-huh,
Like
uh-huh.
that moment gets me every time, man. Honestly,
Yeah, I can see. Uh-huh. Yeah.
beautiful moment, beautiful
So,
moment. But yeah,
mhm.
never mind. Should we talk about the Batman for 10 minutes?
Yes, let's.
Yeah.
Let's.
So, a warning to chat. If you haven't seen the Batman,
What are you doing?
we yeah, first of all, what are you doing? But if you're trying to avoid spoilers and all that, I don't think there's anything really to spoil. I don't think it's a film that you can particularly spoil other than like one or two little
Uh-huh.
like Easter eggs. But I don't feel like they'd come up mainly in conversation, but I'm more interested to just first of all get your take on it, and then the kind of the age-old chat of how it compares to like the Dark Knight series for you as well.
Yeah. I thought it was a masterpiece. Like, and it was actually, it was as soon as it was finished, that was, I knew that I'd watched an amazing movie, but it was when I went home and I thought about it, and it was still there. I was just like, well, I mean, that was quality. Like, that was really good.
It took me like 2 hours to get to sleep.
Yeah.
After getting in bed because it was just like,
No,
it took me that long to process it.
We were talking about it in the chat as well, just that night. I just think he's my favorite Batman. Anyway, he is my favorite Batman. Again, it's probably an age thing because, of course, when the other Batman movies came out, I wasn't exactly at an age where I was watching them. I mean, I've seen them, but he is my favorite Batman. And I don't know, it was just everything came together. I thought every role was played to perfection. I thought they got the casting spot on.
Yeah.
And yeah, no.
I think about it quite often because obviously there's a lot of debate about it, and it's interesting because films are very much representative of like the time that they're in or the time that they're made.
Yeah.
So like Christian Bale's Batman, I absolutely love, and I still think Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne is better.
Yeah, at the
because
moment.
what I love is that he's the billionaire playboy. Like
Yeah.
he goes into the restaurant, buys the restaurant, then he's like got the two girls and they're climbing the fountain, and like I love that. That's his mask. I absolutely love that. But yeah, totally. Like Robert Pattinson is there to be. Oh, he's still there.
Sorry, aye. Hold on a minute. Sorry.
Is your battery going?
No. I'm still here.
All right.
Right. There we are.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, I absolutely love Christian Bale's, but Christian Bale's really came into his Batman and his Bruce Wayne really came in like into full flow in The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
So like we've got to give our part that kind of extra film. However, when I've really thought about it, what I love about Robert Pattinson's Batman is that he's almost the Batman when he's not the Batman more. Yeah. Like I love that, like because I'm a like massive motorbike guy, like more so than ever, and I love like all the motorbike stuff rather than it just like the Batmobile is so cleverly used, but I love all the motorbike stuff and like I love like how I love his helmet for his motorbike and stuff. Like I love all of that. I love all the motorbike stuff. So yeah, I the more I think about it, the more I'm really enjoying it. The only thing that really bugs me, and I said this last week, is, and it's just one of them weird things, but like, do you know when like he goes to the crime scenes
Yeah.
and like they're all like looking around? Like,
Yeah.
imagine just being one of the police officers there.
I know.
And you're like, who the fuck's that? Who's
I
this
know.
clown? Like,
I know.
just like
Dressed up.
it's just really weird. But like, obviously, they know who he is and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I absolutely. Have you rewatched it yet?
No, I haven't, but I'm planning to, just because I don't want to go myself. So I'm trying to get people.
It's a liberating experience, by the way, going to the cinema on your own.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Um,
just don't cut the bottom of your popcorn.
Yeah, no, it's not American Pie. No, I definitely do want to see it again, just because I think they got it just right. It is the Batman, you know, that the emphasizes so much, and links so heavily to just the character and the mood. And I'm still in the process. I've not finished it all, so don't spoil things. But I'm still in the process of watching Gotham.
No, I'm the same. Because it moved around quite a bit, didn't it? It was on like Channel 5, then it was on Channel 4, then it went to Netflix and stuff like that. I don't even know where to finish it.
It's on Netflix. It's on Netflix.
Right, okay. Because there are parts of it that I've only seen through TikTok videos. You know, the bit where he seems to go into a nightclub, but he buys the nightclub, and then there's like a friend who's
that
a
clip.
dick.
That clip got me into it.
I've only seen it as that clip, so so yeah, I definitely want to finish Gotham.
No, I think that links so heavily to the Batman. It doesn't, because it's completely different. They're completely different.
Yeah,
but I think they're the two shows that have got Gotham right. You know, they're the two that have showed it perfectly, in my opinion. Just of what Gotham is. And I'm just excited for more, to be honest. And I don't want to wait until 2027, apparently, is what they're saying.
Is that how long it's going to be?
They're saying it could be up to that. And I just can't wait for that. He'll be like, what age will Robert Pattinson be by then?
It's a strange one, isn't it? Because like how good it is, and how good like Christian Bale's was. And then like even the Gotham one, it's very much that. But then like the Ben Affleck one is just so out of place. It's just like a totally different Batman, isn't it? It's like, and I get that can exist because there are very different versions of Batman. But yeah, it's weird.
I know
it just doesn't fit.
It's a weird thing to say, but I think just even the voice of Batman, he got perfectly. I think sometimes when you go back and watch the other Batmans, they sometimes, you know, that you're Rachel's and all those, you know, you sometimes, you know, you smirk and you're laughing at them. Just because I think you didn't laugh at Robert Pattinson. Maybe at the time when he went, what have you done? When he smashes when he's smashing the window, when he's singing, when the Riddler's singing Ave Maria.
Yes.
Maybe that time, but apart from that,
no, it was good. It was good. It'll be interesting to see where they take it. And hopefully it's not 2027. I mean, they must have edited it pretty quick, because it feels, certainly the time that I've been on TikTok, which has only been a year and a half, they were filming, because it was filmed in Glasgow, wasn't it?
Some of it, yeah.
And I remember them filming those scenes, and it was all over TikTok. So it wasn't shot that long ago. So you know, it has every potential to
exactly.
be around. I mean, to be fair,
so.
Glasgow is probably as a good setting as Gotham, like, to be fair.
Pretty much, and it's a cheap place to film as well. So
yeah, it is.
That's why they do it. But as you saw, even with the Joker, the steps, that's in Glasgow. So.
Is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, the steps in Glasgow, I believe. I might be wrong, but I believe they're in Glasgow. So
didn't know that.
Yeah, maybe it's just this grey, like, aura that just fills the city.
There's a lot in Scotland. I know New Asgard is in Scotland, because it's just over the border from, like, on our side.
Yeah.
So it's like there's loads. Interesting. What about on the the Marvel side of things? Like, how do you get as equally as excited about the Marvel stuff, or do you just kind of enjoy it when it comes?
I mean, No Way Home, I was buzzing.
Mhm.
That was a spectacle in itself. I would say that, because I'm still in the, like, I know what happens in the story, etc. I know how it's going. I mean, I'm a bit lost in Phase 4, I can't lie. But I'm still working my way through the movies. And, like watching them fully, because I've seen certain things from certain movies, but I'm even rewatching movies that I have seen before. But yeah, I would say, I get more excited for Star Wars, because that is probably my go-to. But the Marvel stuff, I mean, some of it is pretty good. Like, I've done a couple of videos on it, and I just got some art up there of Guardians of the Galaxy. First time I watched it in about a month ago or something like that. Like, all the way through both of them. They are amazing movies.
Yeah, they're brilliant. The Guardian. I think the better when you go back as well. Like when you know the characters.
Yeah.
Like Dave Bautista is fantastic in that. But yeah, I 100% agree. I think even Doctor Strange. I remember watching the first Doctor Strange, like when it first came out.
I'm in the middle of that. Yeah.
I was just like, I'm not sure I get this.
No.
But now I really get the Doctor Strange character. And I remember Doctor Strange from when I was a kid, but he was always like a supporting character in the animated series, which is big like thing for me, is like that's the source material that I link everything to. But yeah, like go back now where I really understand the Doctor Strange character, and you're like, oh, this film is unbelievable.
Yeah. No.
So
I think they do so well with so many movies. My problem now is that I hope they don't go too overboard with this whole new phase.
Yeah.
Because there are certain things that I'm excited for. Multiverse of Madness has endless possibilities.
Yeah.
I mean, we could see Darth Vader there, like
we could.
So yeah, that's gonna be some movie.
Yeah, it is, and hopefully they don't go too far, but have absolute faith in them. I think what I'm really interested in, and where my like tiniest bit of concern with the MCU comes in now, is it feels like with the other phases, it was all about establishing these characters, about then bringing them together. But it feels like we're pushing all of these characters apart now, and they might come back together, but more in smaller groups.
Yeah.
So you think like the Eternals, like they don't seem to go to be connected with like, I don't know, like Loki, or like you just, and we could prove, I could absolutely be wrong, but like there just could be it's just that lack of connection with it. But I suppose we'll see. But yeah, really interested in it. And see from that. I've just seen that comment, by the way. Barca beat Real Madrid 4-0 in the El Clasico. Barca. Yeah, very interesting.
What's he doing?
It is indeed.
Well, Xavi's got a bit of redemption. I thought he wasn't going to make it. Well, fair enough.
Yeah. He'll probably have the passion thing going for a couple of weeks, but then you go. But yeah, will you be watching Moon Knight? Because I'm not like paying it any attention, but I'll absolutely watch it, and for that reason I think I'll love it. But I think
I will watch it, but I don't think I've not seen many of the series.
Okay.
As of yet, just again, I'm trying to work in chronological order. So I will watch it probably eventually. But it's not one of these things where launch date I'm watching it just because I'll probably rewatch Rebels or something. But,
don't blame me. I've just clocked the time, so we're going to start wrapping up in a minute or so. But keen to, we talked a lot about kind of like the past and like where you are now, and then like going forward as well. But right now you're on TikTok. I think you're only on TikTok as kind of mackbricks. It's your only real platform.
No.
Do you have any like particular plans, or are you just like riding the wave for kind of whilst it continues to interest you, or
Yeah, I think I'll ride the wave. I mean, I definitely want to hit that 10k this year, hopefully, because that's me now at 5k.
Okay,
just over 5, so 5.1 or something like that. So I'm halfway there, but it's taken me a while to get there. And yeah, I'm just enjoying it, and it's more of these things, these things where I can talk to people like yourself, people who enjoy the same things as I do, and yeah, just see where it takes me.
Nah, good stuff. I'm sure you'll get there. It's so weird, TikTok, in that like Henry Calvert, for example. Henry is a cracking guy, and for a long time, his view, what was weird is he was getting the views, but people weren't hitting the follow button, and he did really well, and he got to a level, and then he did that one video a couple of weeks ago where he's like, I'm going out to, and it's like, the best thing about it is it's just Henry being Henry. Like there's nothing special particularly about that video compared to any other video that he does, and it's just one that like caught it caught and it went, and like he's on like 75,000. So like it's for you, it's that thing whereby, and that's a growth for him in about 2 weeks of about 50,000 followers. So you just you never know where that kind of growth is going to come from, and you just enjoy the process more than anything.
Yeah, like I have a lot of respect for him because he doesn't use a sound.
Doesn't use hashtags either.
It's just him. He's so genuine.
Yeah, no, he is.
And the thing is, I don't think anyone else could do that, because he's done it from the beginning and it's worked for him. Thing is, if I do that, like for instance, I sometimes forget to put in a sound, I'll just be having like 200 folk see it, and I'll be like, okay.
It's I've even looked at that and thought, like, is there something in it? And I just haven't got like the audacity to like not put a sound on. I'm like, no, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet.
I know.
But it's such a weird space, TikTok, in that, and like followers essentially mean nothing. It's more about like watches and views and all that. And see Harvey saying there, 2.5 million likes, 40,000 followers. I've got 75,000 followers, but 1.7 million like or 1.8 million likes. It's just there's no direct correlation. So it's a weird one. But and I've probably got a lot of growth recently because I've been doing the custom minifigures again. But I'm done with them for now because they are they're just so like energy and time consuming. So I'll put them on hold and I'll come back to them in a couple of months or so. But what I can then typically guarantee is that my views will drop massively because there are people who have watched for them and they're not really interested in like me and like all the other stuff, or it isn't for them. So, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. So
no, it's just what we enjoy.
So. Exactly. And to be honest, right now I enjoy the conversation more than anything. But whether you're watching live or whether you're watching this back later, I've linked Mac's TikTok account below. Also, if you're following me on TikTok, you will see one of my most recent video. I actually made a custom minifigure of Mac collapsed outside of the canteen, and I loved your stitch, by the way. I loved the way you stitched it to freedom. So yeah, perfect timing that. So go and check him out. Followers seem to be what the brand care about. I do agree, Harvey, yes, to an extent, but I think that's because a lot of brands compare TikTok to Instagram. I think that's what it is, and they're learning TikTok. But yeah, there is still an element of that, and TikTok itself does care because it unlocks features the more followers you get, which is obviously very clever on their part. But then I don't really see them anymore, but you see them every now and then, but like these grow party lives where people are like, follow the live, I like fucking hear them things. But when you look at them, you've got people with like 50,000 followers. But they're getting like 250 views, and that's because nobody gives a shit about their content that follows them. And like, what would you rather have? Give me views over followers any day. So you're doing all right.
No, indeed.
but yeah, a little bit for next week. So very different change of pace next week. So a lot of you may not have even heard of this creator. So she is a TikTok creator called Lana Banana. She's from Ireland. So she is a Star Wars fan. Bit of a following that way, but she's actually, and this is something I've never talked about before, just because TikTok, it's very different topic. So it's that thing that you daren't talk about other things because TikTok doesn't like that. But she's actually a big wrestling fan, professional wrestling fan. She's just been out to AEW, and then obviously it's WrestleMania in a couple of weeks. So I thought, I watch it. I grew up watching it. It's not the same as it used to be.
No.
But she is, I don't follow any wrestling creators, but I see them sometimes. But then she does a bit of Star Wars stuff as well, so I ended up kind of following her back and then talking, and she's coming on, so we're going to talk. She ran out to AEW a couple of weeks ago, and then obviously we've got WrestleMania, so we'll be talking a big part about professional wrestling, and then the week after, then obviously with that we'll talk Star Wars and some other stuff as well. It's not Lana Wolf.
I've met her.
Really?
Yeah. At the Rangers celebrations.
Nice.
For 55 for our title win last season. Yeah.
So, did you get a... Yeah, sure she is. So stay tuned for that one. She's just about to hit 10K as well. So she's on 9,970 odd the last time I checked, and I was speaking about earlier. Yeah. So yes, check her out. Lana Banana 1 or something like that it is. But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you if you're watching this back. If you haven't, the last time I last is just drop a like. And if you're watching this back, leave in the comments what you thought of the show, any questions, and I will comment through the week as we go back. Until the next time though, we will sit. I'll be live on TikTok through the week. Do you have any plans to go live this week, Mark?
Possibly, but lots of more celebrations, so we'll see.
He's on it now. He's on a party month, indeed.
Yeah. Right.
Well deserved. But it has been a pleasure as always to have you all with us, Mark. It has been a pleasure to have you here and to get to chat with you properly.
Yeah.
And again, we'll be setting up a group session soon. It might be, I feel like I'll definitely do one for before Kenobi starts, but I feel like I need to do another one before then. So I might get you on to do something then as well. But we'll see.
Well,
but yeah.
Right. Thank
Look
you.
after yourself, everyone. You got to wave, and I feel like you're on a children's TV show.
Bye.
See you, everyone.